So Redguard is another spin-off game that came out between Elder Scrolls 2 and 3. This one's in Hammerfell during the Second Era when Tiber Septim was taking over everything for the Empire. For context, most of the games are within the Third Era when the Empire is strong, and Skyrim is in the Fourth Era when they are much weaker. The Second Era is the time of the Empire massively growing and spreading to new lands, and that's what's happening here. The Empire has newly taken over Hammerfell, and specifically Stros Mackay, which is the island you're on in Hammerfell. Hammerfell is the land of the race known as the Redguards. They are Tamriel's black people, and it's a very deserty place that I think would be great for a mainline Elder Scrolls game. Anyway, so there are two factions who dislike each other, the Crowns and the Forebearers. One side welcomes the new empire, the other side wants Hammerfell to stay run by the Redguards. The Empire has placed Lord Rickton in charge of Stros Mackay, while Tiber Septim continues conquering other places. Nobody likes Rickton, and Rickton has a special soldier guy who's a dark elf named Dram. I think of them kind of like Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett. Rickton is the Jabba and Dram is the Boba. Rickton pays Dram for special missions and such. Anyway, you are Cyrus. You left your sister a while back after killing her husband. I'm not sure why you did this, but there is a one-issue comic to explain it. You are back looking for your sister, who has went missing, and honestly, all the lore and story setup is really cool. The actual lore around this stuff is really cool. It's just that the main story is not that great, but the lore surrounding it is cool. This is also the first time I've seen Dwemer ruins look like this. I didn't realize they looked like this before Morrowind, but here they are. And this is the first time in these older Elder Scrolls games that I'm seeing Khajiits look like Khajiits, and Argonians are far closer to what I'm used to. And they also mention things about previous games, like the Battle Spire.
What's the Battle Spire?
A war college set up by the Empire to test its battle mages, an elite mages guild, really.
Unfortunately, the game is not great. Dialogue is really, really lengthy. You can spend like 20 minutes talking to a person, and it's rarely enjoyable. Even when you do something like buying items, you have to do it one at a time.
I'll take a healing potion.
Okay, that'll be 25 gold.
Thanks. I'll take a healing potion.
Okay, that'll be 25 gold.
Thanks. I'll take a healing potion.
Okay, that'll be 25 gold.
Thanks.
Voice acting is a mixed bag. Some of the voice actors I love,
Jafar is at your service.
but others are so bad I want to quit the game.
Yes, my name's Mariah. What can I do for you?
And yeah, I know my voice isn't great, but when I hear the voices of this game, I'm like, mine isn't really that bad. Puzzles are not great. A couple of them are actually neat, but most of them suck ass. Platforming is garbage. Not only does it feel awful to control, but anytime you load a save, you come out with a crazy speed boost, and you gotta wait for that to cool down, or you could just run off an edge and kill yourself. And that's because the frame rate is all over the place. Often, it's too slow, but sometimes it's insanely fast, and I hate it. It bounces all over the place. Combat is weird. I never got good at it, but I expect even if I did, it still wouldn't be enjoyable. It is clunky and awkward and weird and has me just kind of spamming a lot. And you don't even use the mouse for it. It's all arrow keys and the control button, which was also a little weird that it wasn't WASD, but with the control button being attack, I guess I'm glad it wasn't WASD. And tonally, this is very silly and way more lighthearted. It is a whiplash coming from Battlespire, although it does have a little bit of darker stuff. My favorite thing in the game is we pay this cool skeleton boatman to ferry us across an island to the dead, where we fight skeletons and meet a necromancer creature called Nagasta. And fun fact Gage wanted me to mention about it, Nagasta is a Slode, which is a race of creature that was the big bad guy of the first era. They were brutal necromancers who made a plague that at the time wiped out half of Tamriel's people. They're mostly extinct by this time, and one lives here and is evil and is a boss fight, and that's neat. Speaking of boss fights, there's a dragon boss here, and this, I believe, would be one of the last dragons before the whole Skyrim thing that happened. And while this boss fight does suck ass, I think he wanted to suck my ass, or something. I swear he wants to fuck Cyrus.
A little privacy. A little candlelight, and the pleasantries begin. My name is Nephalalagus.
Now, the island of Strosmakai is its very own small open world, and I think that's really neat. It's actually not an empty one, but don't get expectations too high. Like I said, it's a very small one, but it's still cool, though. Another really cool thing is you get to meet Clavicus Vile, one of the Daedra princes, and he's a little bitch boy with an annoying voice and a shape-shifting dog thing, and it's pretty cool seeing him implemented. Also, there are plenty of guards and pirates to fight, and at one time I disrespectfully fought an Imperial guard on the grave of this woman's son, who's literally behind him mourning her son and trying to save his soul, and we're just fighting on his grave. It was very disrespectful. And speaking of souls, we are actually rescuing both my sister's soul, which we get by killing Nagasta and winning a bet with Clavicus Vile, and we are rescuing the prince's soul, who is deadish because of the Empire. My sister is part of a group called the Restless League. They are a special they are not a wrestling group. They are not a wrestling troupe. They are a special rebel group who attacks the Empire and fights for the prince. My sister, upon meeting me, says she doesn't want anything to do with me. I tell her I'm sorry, and that I won't leave again, and she's like, yeah, sure. Also, Cyrus apparently doesn't give two shits about the politics going around, even if it affects everyone around him. He doesn't care. But what he does want is his sister's approval. So he teams up with the Restless League and the old lady whose son's soul we saved, and we travel to save the prince's soul. But something gets fucked up in the ritual, and the soul goes into a sword, and now it is sentient and living in the sword, and using it is such a massive upgrade compared to the sword you had before. My god, is fighting so much easier with it. It's too bad you don't get it till the end. And that's another thing, this isn't an RPG at all. There's no stats, no creation or anything like that. You do get potions though, so at least that's nifty. Anyway, you fight Dram, which is the only two-handed fighter in the game, so that's cool. Then you kill Richten, but you don't actually kill him. The prince's spirit lifts the sword and kills Richten itself. And then the prince's sword spirit just forever lives on your sister's hip. And Cyrus, unlike me, is not even a little curious about how this relationship between his sister and a sword is going to work out. Instead, he's like, well, I'm leaving you again, which is stupid. He doesn't even have a reason to, and he literally said he wouldn't. And his sister's like, I understand, and because we know Third Era, I have a pretty good idea what happens, and all will fall to the will of Tiber Septim. I also forgot a very important part of the story. At one point, you get turned into whatever the fuck this fucking thing is, and you gotta get changed back.
Hello. Don't be afraid.
So like Battlespire, there is some good here, mainly in the lore, but main gameplay-wise, this sucks hard. It is quite unenjoyable, and you better grab a guide for a couple of these puzzles if you don't want to kill yourself. It's hard for me to recommend this game, like there are some good things about it I like, but when a game has me begging for it to finally end, that is not a good sign. Of the pre-Morrowind Elder Scrolls games, I don't think I will return to any of them. However, if I had to recommend one, it would be Daggerfall easily. It's the most enjoyment I had despite the dungeons. For Redguard though, it might be better to just watch someone play a walkthrough or something. I don't know if the game would have a better or worse reputation if it was to come out on other systems like the Saturn or the PlayStation. But I think Morrowind being the first one on consoles was a good move, because it's just so good. Even if it is kind of a miracle, it even ran on the Xbox. Overall, man, Redguard is a mixed bag. The game is garbage, but there's some neat stuff within that bag of garbage. I also played using the GOG version. Apparently this is the best way to play and you shouldn't play on Steam, but I don't know because I play the GOG version and I can say that one mostly works.